Sí.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go over this real quickly just to show you guys a little bit of who we are as a brand and what do we do. I'm sharing my screen. I think you guys will be able to see a PowerPoint in a bit. Let me just double check that it's the correct PowerPoint, not the wrong one. So it should be Hikvision Plus Solution. Yes. Okay, just confirming the chat. You guys can see a PowerPoint presentation. Let me check the chat here because when I'm sharing, it doesn't show. Just checking you guys. Okay, yes, thank you. Thank you for the feedback. Okay, all right, guys. Okay, so who are we? We are Hikvision. We are the #1 electronic security company in the world in terms of sales. We have been in the market for over 24 years. We are more than just electronic security. We are an AI company, and we cover a lot of ground with a lot of different product lines and especially sub brands of Hikvision itself. So we cover the whole spectrum of from radio waves to gamma ray. What I mean by that is that we have a lot of different product lines that can work together and offer you a solution because we are not only a manufacturer of products, we actually are a developer of solutions. So I understand that most of you, when you hear Hikvision, you think cameras only, maybe access control, maybe alarm. But as you can see on your screen, there's way more than that. We as a brand make a lot of different product lines for a lot of different scenarios, for different applications, to offer different solutions that can be adjusted to any customer, right? So it ranges from, yeah, CCTV, which is one of the biggest product lines that we have, for home applications to traffic control citywide, to face recognition citywide, even face recognition on home applications. So we even have that, and we're gonna expand on that later on. We have audio solutions, IP speakers, analog speakers, mixers, uh, the whole 9 yards for audio solutions. We have networking, switches, routers, wireless bridges. We have all the accessories that you might need for your projects, except the tubing. We do everything else. We do the cable, cabinets, UPSs, all the organizers for cable. We have the patch panels. We have the jacks, the keystones, the faceplates for the wall, all of that. We have portable solutions like mobile recorders. We have body cams, name tags with cameras. We even have solutions for medical endoscopy. We have also solution for medical emergency, for patient care, for detecting if a patient is not breathing on his bed or he fell down on the floor. Solutions like that for patient management even. We have radars for all kinds of applications for both perimeter protection, volumetric measuring, all of that. We have solutions for digital signage. Actually, it's one really big business for us is digital signage and everything related to interactive flat panel displays. That's what IFPD means, which are the screens, interactive whiteboards you can use in a meeting room, in a classroom, in a conference to show wirelessly or wire from your computer, your phone, and it's fully touch screen. It can give Wi-Fi to the whole room. We have different applications for different solutions for different applications. We have monitors, we have X-ray machines for small luggage to big luggage, full body scanners, metal detectors, and of course, I'm not gonna forget about our solutions for control and execution, which means intercom, access control, alarm, fire alarm. We have vehicle barriers, full body turnstile, half body turnstile, parking solutions. So there's a lot, right? I'm not gonna expect to go in all of them at the same time, but just so you know, I will also go get you guys through our webpage where you can find all of our products, all the products that we have. And of course, on CCTV, we have a plethora of different series for different applications. We have wireless, home cameras. We have cameras for long range human detection, face recognition, park license plate recognition, all of that, right? We have small kits for application. We have solar solution. We have IP speakers that can work together with a camera to play an audio file whenever an event happens. Of course, we have the switches to port all of that, the junction box, the accessories for all that. The only thing we don't provide is the pole. For everything else, we have it. We have personal digital assistants, as you can see, the PDAs that can work as bar scanners, RFID detectors. We have body cams for security applications. We have traffic control cameras, license plate recognition cameras, even solutions for police patrols and bikes, right? We have a medical endoscopy solution as well. That actually is quite new. When I was beginning this training, I also mentioned that we have other sub brands. There's Hikvision, but there's also Hiksemi, which is in charge of SD cards, SSDs, RAM memory cards, all of these kind of accessories. We have Hikimagine, which is the one in charge of in medical endoscopy solution. We have Hikrobot, and we have Hikragent that is in charge of X-ray machines. We have Hic Micro for thermal applications, thermal solutions, as you're seeing on the screen. We have thermal cameras and also handheld thermal cameras that work, for example, for those construction workers or inspection companies that want to detect leaks. Yeah, we have solutions like that, right? For both security and just thermal imaging, right? Pressure detectors, pressure measurers. We have Coriolis mass flow meters, and we have radar as well, right? On radars, we have for, as I was saying, for perimeter, but we also have for volumetric measuring. We have for patient care, as I was telling you guys at first. On the right side of the screen, you will be able to see it. Let me just double check here on the message if we are okay, because I haven't checked the chat in a bit. So chat. Yeah, got it. Yeah, okay, cool. Just double checking on you guys. If anything goes wrong, I think you can turn your mics. I'm not sure if you can, or I think you can't. Okay, just Daniela or Victor, just let me know if anything goes wrong, right? Because we have a lot of people. I don't think everyone can turn their mics. Okay, so as I was saying, we have audio solutions. We have IP speakers, indoor, outdoor, analog as well. You can adjust to many different scenarios. It can be integrated with the CCTV system. We have fiber sensing. We have acoustic sensing as well. Cameras with built-in radars as well, right? X-ray machines, full body scanners, the whole 9 yards, handheld metal detectors, full body metal detectors, all of that. We have, of course, the transmission product line, which means switches, wireless bridges, mesh access points, in-wall, ceiling, outdoor, where you want to put it, wireless bridges as well for long-range transmission up to 15 kilometers, which is about 45,000 feet approximately. We have, of course, the Soho networking line, routers, Wi-Fi routers, Wi-Fi extenders, adapters, home applications, office applications, whatever you want to put it, right? So we make all of that. And I just want to tell you all of this because Solution Box has access to all of our product lines. So it's not like, is this available for my country? Yes, of course, it will be available for your country. You just need to ask your sales rep, and they will confirm with you whatever is available at the moment, maybe either of our local stock on the region or have to be ordered from headquarters, right? Of course, we have the displays, monitors for both just desktop. We have LCD video wall screens for video wall management with the decoders as well. We have the UPSs from 600 volt amperes, small applications, to 10,000 kilovolt, 10 kilovolt amperes, which is the same as 10,000 volt amperes, for rack mounted, for project wise applications, right? Of course, all the accessories, as I was saying, the faceplates, the patch panel, the cable management, the keystones, the jacks, balloons, all of that, right? PDUs, the power distribution units, the power outlets, we have them. The racks, of course, the fiber accessories as well. I don't think on fiber the only thing we don't have is like the fusion machines, but everything else we have it. The cable, the patch cords, everything. The SFP adapters we also have them, right? Multi-mode, single mode, however you want it. And of course on CCTV, I'm gonna be talking about this more thoroughly in a bit, but there's a new technology that we have developed which is called AccuSync, right? Which is the capability of prompting via text from your phone or from the recorder itself or from a management software searches. That has to also have to be compatible with the devices that do it, but there's a new technology that's already out there that can work with prompting. Same as you will doing with DeepSeek or ChatGPT, you could be prompting, find me a man with a red hat, and it will find the person over the video. Now, again, that has to be compatible with the recorders and the cameras for the solution to work, but we already have it. On analog, we also have two-way audio, which I will explain in a bit more thoroughly, but this is already available in your region, and Solution Box has this at hand. So just to let you know a little more about that, right? On DP Mind, which is the higher end of general of intelligence, we have recorders and cameras that can work facial recognition, people counting, personal protection equipment, gun detection, behavior analysis, all of that, right? Now, I don't want to scare you with the word face recognition on the fact that it should, when people see that, they think, oh, this is going to cost me a lot of money. It's going to be way too expensive. I can have face recognition on my small store. Yeah, we have face recognition even on analog. And we'll go about that in a bit, but just so you know. Now, guys, I don't like to give monologues, right? You guys have a chat window. If anything is not clear and if I'm not explaining well enough, please ask away. You can text on the chat window. I will try to read them as soon as I can to get you guys caught up, catch up, catch you guys up to speed, right? Yeah, sorry, English is not my first language. I'm trying to do the best I can on here. So yeah, we have storage solutions as well. We have CDR, we have hybrid SAN devices that can work with up to 72 hard drive base, can support hundreds of video channels, up to 1 gigabit of bandwidth of CCTV. So yeah, you can do all of that. And as well, we also have LED, which is actually a really big market for us. We have LED screens for indoor, outdoor, flexible, wall-mounted, hanging. We can adjust to any kind of background for installation. We provide all the screens for that. We have LCD for video walls for, let's say, CCTV monitoring applications or just showing ads. And of course, we have the keyboards for the control using the software, and of course, the decoders and the controllers for all of the screens, right? As I was mentioning at first, the interactive flat panels, the interactive screens, digital signage that can be handled locally or remotely through management software, which I will talk a little about a bit in a bit, right? We have the interactive screens for different applications that can work together also with microphones, speakers to have a full immersive solution for your customers and your conference rooms or theaters or whatever you have on hand, right? The size, as I was saying, is a solution that we also have that can work for indoor screens. We also have an outdoor solution, but that will be with LED. We have what we call, I don't think you guys can see my mouse, but I am signaling here the digital signage box, which is a box that can turn any TV into a digital signage screen. So it means that you don't need to buy the screen from us. You buy the box and you can turn any TV into a digital signage device because it has an HDMI output. As long as the screen has an HDMI input, you can turn it into digital signage and you can control it remotely. And we have a software dedicated only for that. And we also have another software that can work all of our product lines together with this. But the one dedicated for this has a free version for up to 5 screens that can be, or 5 boxes that can be managed. After the 6th screen, you have to pay. But the first 5 fully for free for the software, right? Of course, we have intercom for all applications. IP, two-wire. Two-wire is a mix between the IP and analog. We have fully four-wire analog solution. We have SIP or SIP phones and SIP servers that can also work with third-party SIP phones. Let me just double check here if I have any chat on the window so I don't miss anything, guys. Give me a second. I don't know if where did the chat go. Okay. Okay, nobody's asking anything yet. So guys, please don't be shy, ask away, right? Okay, again, yeah, I'm sharing here the screen. We have panic buttons. We have, sorry, I was talking about the SIP phones. We have the SIP servers that can work with Grandstream, G-Star, third party, any third party, or sorry, most third party SIP phones. And we also have our SIP phones that can work with third party SIP servers, right? We have access control, regular, just card, code, keypad, but we also have them with face recognition, QR code recognition, fingerprint, of course. We have the enrollers, the controllers, the visitor terminals, solutions for elevator lift controllers. We have full body and half body turnstiles. When I say half body is what you see on the screen, the swing barriers, the tripod turnstiles, and swing gates on the right side of the screen. We have also on the right side of the screen the full height turnstiles for full body access control. And we also have sliding gate openers. So those are the things that you can control from your phone or a Wii remote controller, or you can also wire a access control reader, and you can control the access to a gate and controls the motor. Sorry, actually, it's the motor that controls the sliding of the gate. So we also have that. We have alarms, of course. I'm not gonna miss this. Alarms. We have AX. We have 3 series. AX Home is usually the DIY solution or the smallest application that we have for alarms. The smallest one has 16 zones, which means that you can have 16 not metal detectors, motion detectors, door contacts, that can be added to the panel. Of course, it can come with a key fob for arming and disarming, a keypad as well. Comes with also a siren. We have the AX Pro series. Actually, it's a little more professional, as the name implies. We have from 48 to 96 zones. We have all different kind of detectors, panic buttons. We have smoke and CO2 detectors. We have temperature and humidity sensors. We have automation solutions, outdoor sirens as well. And then we go the AX Hybrid Pro series, which is the mix between wired and wireless. For those projects that I can wire some areas because I need to, because I already have the wiring done, I can use this solution. For example, banks usually go with wire solution. They don't trust wireless because also they don't choose wireless because usually insurance doesn't cover when you have a wireless solution for banks, right? So that's where the hybrid solution goes with. But they can also be mixed between wireless and wire put together on the same solution.
Enrique,
for fire, yes,
you have
please.
some questions on the chat.
Let me
just
check.
letting you know.
Thank you. Okay, I see it now. Does the alarm work with a SIM card to do? Yes, very good question, George. So yeah, our alarm can work with SIM cards, 1 or up to 2 SIM cards at the same time for redundancy. In case the network fails, the power goes out, the alarm panels have the wireless alarm panels have a built-in battery, and the wire can fit in a 12 volts regular, lead acid battery in put in there for power backup, and they can still work with the 4G for remote communication. And of course, and I thank you for asking this, because we also have the compatibility with ARCs. What ARC means is alarm receiving centers, right? So we are fully compatible with third-party ARCs that can use any protocol, even if they at first might not get the signal from our panel. We have a software, which is a free software that they can also install, those alarm receiving centrals, that will make any of their receiving software compatible with our panels, because it will work as a bridge. Can they work with smoke detectors? Yes, we have smoke detectors. We have for the wireless, we have the wireless smoke detectors, and for the wire, we have the wired smoke detectors as well. right? So even if you also have third-party wired smoke detectors, those could work as long as they just send the signal to the panel. Because in a wired solutions, you just only need to change the status of the circuit, right? From normally open to close or from normally close to open. Whatever you do is change the signal, it changes the signal in the circuit and just trigger the alarm on the panel, right? But for the wireless, we also have the wireless smoke detectors. I see another question from Mario. Okay, I got one question about Central Station. I'm participating in a quotation and they asking for, I don't know if you finished the question there. Oh, sorry, but maybe the chat cut off. But yeah, if you're asking about Higgs Central Professional, I will try to cover it in a bit. A Central Station complies with EN60 security grade. Okay, let's do something, Mario. Let me know through Daniela, and we can have a sit down about this because actually this one commercial part was gonna mention in a bit. We also do, part of my job is doing pre-sale support. So I help customers with selections, right, together with our team. So just let me know through Daniela later. We can set up a meeting, maybe this week or maybe next week, because I'm a little tied up between tomorrow and today. But we can set up a meeting with our pre-sales team and help you with the selection and ask any questions needed. Okay? My pleasure. All right, guys, please keep asking, right? You have the chat window there. As I said, this is not a monologue. I will try to pause to answer questions, but please keep asking. Okay? So moving on. So we have the fusion cameras for fire detection, flame detection as well for smoke and flame. We have the residential alarm solution and commercial alarm with addressable fire panels, right? They all comply with European standards, fully compatible. We have, of course, vehicle access control management. We have the vehicle barriers. We have the parking solution itself. We have the payment machine for parking solution. We have the ticket issuing and the license plate recognition cameras. We have also, it's not shown here. Sorry, it's here, actually on the right. I didn't see it. We have the vehicle access control with vehicle tags. So you can use ultra high frequency readers for vehicle access control. You can put a tag on your windshield or just put it on the dashboard, a card, and the reader will read it and then send the signal to the barrier to open it, right? We have the full parking solution with the cameras that can tell you how many parking spaces are available. We also have the screens showing you in which direction, how many parking spaces you can find. On the outdoor, you can see. On the outside, you can see when you're entering how many parking spaces per floor. You have a multi-floor parking lot. Sorry. We have on-street parking solution as well for outdoor application. We can also count up to 50 vehicles in a single space for a single camera, right? And I was eager to get to this part, right? Okay, so Mario, Daniela just put her contact there, right? So yeah, just let her know and we can chat. So for software, this is the mobile app that we have for the end user, HIC Connect. Now, HIC Connect 6 is the latest version since last year, and it has two modes, the personal mode and the team mode. What's the difference? Personal mode is for cameras at my home or my small business, the alarms and the access control. You can handle all of that, right? Team mode is for small and medium businesses. You can have time attendance centralized on the cloud. You can have sorry, I'm blacked out. I forgot what I was saying. You can have time attendance. You can have the centralized management of all the different sites for CCTV. You can do apartments as well for getting the call to different apartment units, even without the need of the indoor monitors, right? Team mode works by subscriptions. A subscription that is paid on the cloud or in a cloud service and can be provided as you system integrators. You buy those licenses on the marketplace of the app itself, and then you sell those licenses to your customers. Or you can also buy it from Solution Box, right? So you can also buy those licenses and then you can resell those licenses to your customers. And let's say a customer stops paying you because I don't know, they forgot to pay you or they don't want the service anymore. You just unassign the license to them and you give it to another person that is actually paying, or just keep it for the moment, right? And Hik Partner Pro, as you are seeing on the screen, this is the app for the installer. So this is the app for you, right? Hik Partner Pro is the app that we recommend for the system integrator, the installers, because this is the app that you will be using for your deployment on projects. You can do quotations from the app. You can do product comparison. You can get notifications for all the webinars that we are doing, which actually I'm going to promote that in a bit. You can also have you can scan the devices you have sold, and you can earn points and then exchange those points with Solution Box for prices or discounts, or as prices go, licenses for free. So you can actually have, this is a loyalty program that we have. So this can also work retroactively. So you can go to a previous customer or a previous installation, you just download the app, you just find it on the App Store or Play Store. It's called Hik Partner Pro, as you're seeing on the screen on the right, and you will be able to download this app and then start scanning, right? So Hik Central Professional, sorry, Hik Central. Hik Central has two versions. Hik Central Access Control, which is a free version that can work up to 16 doors with time attendance for free and up to 3,000 people. And then you have Hik Central Professional, which is the centralized management platform for every Hikvision device out there, right? So you can centralize the management of CCTV together with access control, intercom, alarm, scanners, body cams, everything I just mentioned. All the programs I just mentioned can be handled to this software. Now, this is a licensed software, but one-time payment. It never expires, and it's not linked to the device MAC address, it's linked to the service, which means that you can change the recorder, you can change the camera, you can choose whatever device, and you don't need to buy a new license. Just delete the previous device and add the new one with that same license. And again, one-time payment. So there's no need for paying half recurrent payment or pay ever again, right? So this is Hik Central Professional Software. If you require a demo for the software, you can contact us through Solution Box. We can schedule a meeting. We register the project that you have, and then we issue a demo license that so you can demonstrate it to your customer and try to make the sale, right? Because we also support you on that to help you, because we don't expect anyone to just buy it and then test it out. We give you a demo license, you test it out, show it to your customer, let him play with it for a bit, for a while, and then decide if they want to buy or not, right? No strings attached on that. Let me just check the chat window if I'm missing anything. Any questions? Okay, no questions so far. Guys, remember, don't be shy. Anything's not clear, let me know, okay? Cool. All right, so yeah, this is what I was mentioning about Hik Central. Now Hik Central is also compatible with AccuSync. I know I haven't explained AccuSync completely, but just as a summary, AccuSync is the way that you can do prompting to find people and vehicles, or vehicles, right? It has to be compatible with the devices, right? The devices have to be doing the function, either the NVRs or also the NVRs and the cameras. Now, we have NVRs that can do it by themselves. They don't need the camera for doing it, but we have cameras that can work with a better accuracy for the people and vehicle detection. But this is compatible with Hik Central Professional, so you can handle those devices that have the function through the software, and then just prompt or just say, I'm going to issue a picture. I have a picture of this person. Find me this person in any of the footage. I want to see if it's a match, right? Or this is the vehicle that broke in last time. Find me this vehicle in any of the footage on all of the channels that have registered using that function, right? So yeah, that is Hik Central Professional. These are you're seeing on the screen. Is Hik Central Access Control, which is the free software for access control, which actually I strongly recommend for most projects, because it has 16 doors and it can have, the Hik Central Access Control, it has 16 doors and it has 3,000 people that can be managed. And you can even do time attendance with this, right? The device doesn't even need to be a time attendance device. Just need to be an access control device of Hikvision. It doesn't work with third party. but it just needs to be access controlled by Hikvision, and we can give the time attendance function to it, and the users can even do remote time attendance, and they can mark or the entry or the leave, right, or the exit by phone, and they can also do attendance corrections. Let's say, for example, I came in late this morning. I was on a doctor's appointment. I have the doctor's note and want to submit it so my manager approve it, so it doesn't show that I'm late anymore. It just changed that there's a correction on my time attendance. I can do that from my phone using the HIC Central Access Control mobile app, right? The only thing it needs is the computer where you have it running to have a public IP. That's all it needs, right? So you can also do the remote attendance as well. Hey, I am 10 minutes away from the office, but there's a lot of traffic, but I'm working. I'm near premises. I want to mark my attendance. I can also set up a radius of attendance checking. Let's say everyone, I don't know, 2 blocks away from the office can mark the attendance, right? Or maybe I'm leaving, but I forgot to put my face or swipe my card, but I can do it from my phone as long as I'm still on the building, right? So that can be another way to also do a contactless access time attendance management, right? So, any questions so far, guys? Are we good? Is anything not clear? Okay, let me see, check the chat. Okay, I don't see any new messages. Everything looks good. Okay, thank you, Kenton. All right, let me move on to the next section. Let's talk about a little more about distribution. Can we get this presentation? Sure. I will just go through marketing department to approve it, and I can send it to you guys. Okay. Usually use this internally, but we have approved versions that we can send. Sure thing. Okay, let me go then. Again, any questions, guys? There's a chat box right there. I'm gonna start with some distribution product lines to explain them a little bit better, right? So let's start with CCTV analog, okay? So what do we have now? What's the latest, how you say it? The latest trend on CCTV analog with Hikvision? So there's Turbo HD H.0. I know that doesn't mean anything to anybody, right? Just another version. But what does it bring? So what we have now is two-way audio. Two-way audio means that we have cameras working together with recorders that can have two-way talk using your HIC Connect app for the end customer, and they can talk and listen through the camera, right? So the way that this works is that the camera does the function together with the recorder. The recorder has to be compatible with the two-way talk function, and the camera has to have the built-in speaker and microphones, right? So you have different applications. You can set it up, for example, somebody for perimeter protection. You can set up for a doorway intercom. Somebody's coming close to your door. You get the motion detection by human on your doorstep. You get a notification to your phone and you see somebody's dropping a package. So you can actually have a two-way talk with that person. Or you leave your kids at home, but you have the cameras there, and you can also talk to them and say, hey, buddy, get to the fridge or bring down the chicken from the freezer because I'm coming home to make dinner, right? So you can have two-way talk with them with the cameras you're using, like a baby monitor, but not only for babies, right? You can use it that way. So again, the function has to be compatible between the camera and the recorder. Which model of recorders are compatible with that? I will show you guys in a bit. One of the main features that we have developed for these new cameras that can do this function is the noise reduction by AI built into the recorder and the camera, and also filtering feedback. Because being the microphone so close to the speaker in other technologies or other brands will cause a feedback that actually cause a bad effect for the customer. So we have done what we call the echo cancellation, right? So in that way, we won't be getting this feedback. We also have models of cameras that can work with a solution called Lifeguard. So they have a built-in red and blue strobe lights as a police patrol for intruders. right? Because what the intruder is counting on is on the factor of surprise, right? This is a surprise factor, sorry. So the element of surprise, sorry, that's the correct phrase. So if they're getting flashing lights to them and a speaker telling them, back off, I already saw you, or whatever, that's a deterrent, right? So they're not going to be robbing that place. They're expecting that nobody knows that they're there, right? Or that the cameras are not being lively monitored. But if the camera is doing these smart functions, sorry, if the recorder is doing the smart functions and working with these cameras, they can do it. Now, remember, in analog solutions, the cameras don't do any analytics. The analytics is done by the recorder. But the camera have features that can work together with the analytics of the recorders to give you a better experience, like the two-way talk, the red and blue lights, right? But all the analytics come from the recorder because there's not a single analog camera in the market that can do any intelligent function. Because in the analog solution is only analog. The digitalization, the codification of this video is what allows the recorder to analyze the video and then issue if there's an or notify if there's an issue, right? So as you're seeing on the screen, this is the product family of the recorders and cameras for two-way talk. Now, don't mind the release part of the presentation because this is a little bit old. This was before the release, so this is out there since last year, right? So this is already on the market, right? So this is the evolution of color view. Color view is the technology that we Hikvision developed. Is our proprietary technology for the video in color 24/7. But on top of that, we have developed something that we call a smart hybrid light, which means that the color view cameras, when they send the video to the recorder detects that there's a person in the area, they will turn on a white light to illuminate the area and get a better picture of it, right? That also happens with the other regular cameras with IR. They will working with IR, but when the recorder detects that there's motion based on the video is getting from the camera feed, then it will trigger the white light and it will change to color because now the area is illuminated. So you can actually get a better quality of image, a better image experience, right? Because this is the idea of smart hybrid light. Usually the camera at night, the ones without color view, because color view doesn't use IR, but the ones with the color view, they use IR and they are working black and white, right? But when the camera detects motion, when the recorder, based on the feed of the camera, detects the motion, then it will tell the camera, turn on your white light, let's see everything in color, right? So that's the idea behind it. And for the color view cameras, you will say, okay, but the color view camera is always working in color. Why do I need the white light? For more illumination, to get a better image effect. As you're seeing on the screen right now, that's the difference between the color view camera and the smart hybrid light. So that's the idea. With the white light mode, you can see everything really clear, as you can see on the right? So this is an example video of hybrid light on the left and and hybrid light with color view on the right. So you will think, oh, the color view is perfect. Yeah, it is. It's really good. The smart hybrid light is also really good. You can also see this with the light on. So not to bore you with a lot of details, but just the way color view works is by doing an almost perfect uh, synchronization between the lens and the sensor. So there's fewer or almost none ghosting effect on the image at night. That's what we call super confocal. Okay. So we also have this new series of cameras that can also have a longer IR distance with the IR lights that can work up to 60 meters away. These cameras also have a built-in microphone, right? They are not two-way talk, but they have a built-in microphone. It's a demonstration video. Okay, so yeah, this is the product family of what I just explained. Color view with hybrid light, smart hybrid light, the smart hybrid light cameras, and the two-way audio cameras as you can see on the screen. So ask your sales guy, salesperson, for any of these devices. Remember, the ones that have the LT or LXTS or LPTS and LPXTS are the ones with the two-way audio. Now, I don't expect you guys to memorize any of these names. Just you'll get this presentation later, and just ask your sales guy. Either way, they will be promoting it to you, right? So yeah, this is just some applications for it. Let me just go through the next part. Give me a second. Let me check. Guys, any questions? Am I being clear enough? Yes, Victor just clarified there. TS means two sound, two-way audio. Okay, let's move on with the next part. So let's talk a little about more AccuSync, because I know some of you might be interested in this. So what is AccuSync? AccuSync is the solution that we have using AI. I'm gonna skip some of the most boring parts, but let me see if I can share this with sound. Yes, I can share with sound. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
Hikvision AccuSeek NVR can search for images in seconds
You
by
hear it?
typing free text. Simply put, you can search for a target image in seconds by typing a sentence or a
thank you.
word. It can support for searching person, vehicle, non-motorized vehicle, behavior, etc. Type in the person wearing a red top and white lower to find the relevant target in the area. Type in a person with a backpack or a man in the reflective vest to find the relevant targets. AccuSeek can also search for vehicle, identifying the color, brand, etc. Such as black Benz. Relevant targets are displayed and you can play back the recordings directly. It can support search for non-motorized vehicle, such as bicycles, sweepers, etc. In addition, it also supports the search for special behaviors, such as people who smoke and carry a suitcase, which can be accurately found. To summarize, AccuSeek can search widely, accurately, quickly, and easily.
Okay, so again, the idea behind all of this is to actually have, more accurate detection and search, reducing the searching times for the customer, right? Because the idea of that is actually, having a better response and shorter response time or response delay. And yeah, we have this from small applications up to 4 channels, and we have with bigger servers up to 128 channels with AccuSync, right? So we have this what we call the NVS. This device right here can work with AccuSync as well. We have also NVRs that can have several channels with AccuSync, all gonna depend on the recorder, right? But we have from 8 channels to 64 channels on NVRs, and then we got the servers for more than 128, 258, 56 channels, and 120 of them can be AccuSync, right? So yeah, the idea of AccuSync is actually prompting. So you can search people or find me this black vehicle, right? Find me every black sedan, or find me every woman with a phone on their hand and a blue backpack, as you're seeing on the screen, right? So that's the idea behind it. So let me skip some of this because it's just firmware versions. Any questions so far? So yeah, get something here on the chat. IQC works with both DVR and no, just NVRs for now, George. Just IP for now. Eventually we'll have it for analog, but just for now, just IP. Now, again, face recognition and perimeter protection for human and people. Sorry, human and people, that's the same thing. For human and vehicles can work with analog. And actually the DVRs for the two-way audio I just was promoting, those can also do face recognition. I actually just did a workshop of that recently, and I tested out myself, and the DVRs work like a charm. and they can have, okay, can you search for license plates? On AccuSync, on AccuSync, you can search for license plate. That's why you have the license plate recognition cameras. But yeah, you could do it, but have to do the cameras with the license plate recognition because AccuSync is based on the shape of the item, right? Person or vehicle. But you can work with license plate recognition cameras, and you can do license plate search. But actually, let me see something because I was seeing that there was a latest version. Let me just double check on that I was just that of what I just said. Because I didn't see license plate on the last time I checked it, but I knew they were releasing out. No, sorry, it's not the same one. Okay, AccuSync NVR. Can I do license plate? Search by people description, person. Let me see. No, I don't see license plate for now. No, only vehicle shape, color, direction. But I don't see license plate for now. Can I work with any Hikvision camera? Technically, yes. Yes, AccuSync can work with any Hikvision camera, and the recorder can give the function to the camera. We suggest the large-scale AI cameras of the one that can do better perimeter protection for vehicle and human detection, but yes, they can work with any Hikvision camera. Actually, it can work with any third party as well. Doesn't even need to be Hikvision. It helps more when the camera is AccuSense. That I can tell you, right? But yeah, it can work with any camera. Okay, any more questions? Please. I mean, I'm glad you guys are asking, right? Okay, in the meantime, let me just go. Okay, I'm gonna go over something real quick because I will be sending you guys the document of this, I am sure. The naming rules, right? I don't expect anybody to memorize this unless you guys have photographic memory, which I don't. Can you guys see on the screen a naming rule? Just checking on the chat. Let me know. Okay, thank you, April. So every Hikvision device has a naming rule. There's a reason behind all those long codes on the name, right? And it just will be good if you guys get familiar with the basics of those naming rules. For example, how can I know if I'm working with an IP camera? Every IP camera, doesn't matter which series or whatever, it starts with 2CD. The DS means that is it is a Hikvision front end product. 2CD means is a camera, right? An IP camera. If it was 2CE, it would be an analog camera, right? Now, there's also the naming rule for the cable-free series, which I will explain a bit, right? They all have their naming rules, and the name says everything you need to know about the camera for the most basic parts, right? Now, what is link? Actually, I'm gonna explain that a bit. I'm gonna explain link in a better presentation. This is the naming rule for NVRs, right? So how can I know it's an NVR? DS dash whatever number I get in the whatever 4 numbers I get at first, because it's gonna tell me the series of the NVR and how many channels they have, and then the N. The N means NVR, right? How many hard drive? After the second dash, the number you see, it will tell you how many hard drives does it have. Same goes for the DVRs. I will get into that in a bit. This is the naming rule for analog cameras. Again, I'm going fast on this because I'm not expecting anybody to memorize this, and I'm not gonna go item by item because it's gonna take a 6-hour training just to cover this whole PPT, right? So I'm not gonna crush you on any of that. I'm gonna also, punish anybody for not memorizing. There's no exam after this, okay? Just so you know that this information is good to have. especially for salespeople, right? Because, or even for your installers, when you're gonna buy a product and you get a price list from Solution Box, you can just say, okay, this is O2CE. I'm not looking for an analog camera. I need an IP camera. I'm gonna discard anything that says 2CE because that's all just analog cameras, right? So I'm not gonna pay attention to anything that says 2CE if I'm looking for an IP. Or I need an analog camera, and they began the list with 2CD. Yeah, none of this will work for me. I need 2CE, right? After that gains a lot of other information, like saying if it's a booted camera, the resolution of the camera. It can tell you if it has two-way talk, as Victor was explaining, the TS, it means two sound, right? Two-way audio. So all of them have a naming rule, right? Just so you know all of the, I'm gonna send, either way, as I said, I want to send this all to you so you have it, but it's good that you guys get familiar with this, right? When it's a plastic DVR or a metal DVR, the naming rule for it, right? Knowing how many hard drives. Okay, so when you're buying a DVR, the two main things you need to know, and I know you guys know this, is how many channels, how many hard drives. But the third, and actually for me the most important part, is what resolution does it support? Because this is one thing I would like to share with all of you. The main limitation of an analog recorder is how big is the resolution that it can record with. Because again, a recorder in a DVR is a digital video recorder. The main difference between that and an NVR is that the NVR does not do encoding. It just does analytics and recording. The DVR does analytics, recording, and encoding, and not in that order, actually the opposite. Encodes first, analyzes second, and records thirds as a third step, right? I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna change the dynamics here. I'm gonna go and share with you guys my browser. Where did I leave my browser? Okay, I have my browser here. So let me get the Hikvision webpage. I just need to get this out of the way. Yeah, Hikvision. So as you're seeing on the screen, this is our webpage, right? Just checking on the chat. You guys are seeing the same thing I'm seeing, the Hikvision webpage. Cool, thank you. So easy. Solutions Box is trying to sell me a recorder, right? And I'm seeing that they are selling me two recorders that are 8 channels, 1 hard drive. One is pricier than the other, and they almost seem the same. There's many reasons behind the difference in price. It's not to, scam you guys or whatever. It's just there are many factors that not only the name tells you, but you need to go find the data sheet. That's also why on the Hik Partner Pro app, you can also do product comparison, which is actually one of the greatest things, right? So let's say, for example, I'm going to go with Pro Series AccuSense, right? And I'm going to scroll down to product list. And I need 8 channel recorders. This is a great example right here. Let me take this as an example. I'm going to take these 2 8 channels, 2 hard drive DVR. I'm going to take this one as well. Sorry, not this one. Sorry, I'm going to take this one. Yeah. So as you can see, I'm going to switch between tabs. As you're seeing, one says HQHI, the other one says HUHI. I don't expect you guys to memorize the letters. I can say from this name, this is an AccuSense DVR, right? 72 series, 8 channel, 2 hard drive DVR. How do I know it's a DVR? Because of this. Because it will be an NVR, it will have an N instead of the H right here. Just to let you know on that part, right? But this is not the most important part. The most important part is what I'm going to mention now. You see that it says HQHI and then HUHI. So the only difference is the Q and the U. But as you can also see, when I'm switching tabs, it says 1080p and 5 megapixel, which is the resolution that the recorder can work with for recording. Now, I'm gonna put it this way. When I'm looking at a recorder, I need to know three things, as I mentioned. How many channels, how many hard drives, right? But most importantly, what is the resolution that it can support? So I just need to scroll down and go to video and audio. And it will tell me, okay, this DVR of 1080p can actually work with 3K cameras. 3K is a little bit above 5 megapixel, right? So yeah, it can work with 3K cameras. Perfect. But the most important part is how can it record it? And I want to make a really special mention on this because this is one of the biggest issues I see on after sales. Most of the issues on after sales come from a bad pre-sale, right? Or a mistake on pre-sale. So to also curb or manage the expectation of the customer, because I understand, I also have been an installer before. When you're looking at a project, you're looking for three different angles. First, customer requirements. The customer is the one, the problem is the one that you have to give the solution to. Secondly, budget, because we are working with their money, right? I understand that. And third, last but not least, scenario. We have to select the device according to the scenario, right? So you guys do the survey. You guys know how many cameras you need to put, what's the route, where they're going to be put, what kind of camera I need, dome, bullet, turret, whatever. If I have it needs to have microphone, it needs to have two-way audio, how long the IR should be so I can see these targets at night, all of that. But when you're choosing the resolution, you need to be careful in analog because the recorder has to be able to handle that resolution for live view and for recording. And what happens a lot is that people say, oh, the live view looks great, smooth, but when I'm looking at playback, it looks not as good or looks slower, right? Because that happens when the recorder cannot handle that much resolution at that many frames because its encoding capacity is limited. And that cannot be expanded by firmware updates. That is a hardware limitation. So when you're choosing a recorder, don't go with the cheapest. Or if you have to, because the budget doesn't allow, adjust the expectation of your customer, right? So it might work with 3K cameras, but it says that for the 3K cameras, it can record 3K light at 12 frames per second. What is the light resolution? When you're looking at resolution, there is the horizontal and vertical pixels. So what it does is it keeps the horizontal and reduces the vertical pixels by half. So it will be 2,160 pixels horizontal and half of this, right? So it should be around 832 pixels, something like that, right? So because that is the way the recorder can record that, can keep that information. Because it cannot get the full 3K on the encoding. That's its limitation. Oh, that is not good enough for me. Cool. Go with the next best thing, which will be maybe this recorder. This recorder can say, okay, I can support even, where is it? Sorry. Okay, HTVI. I can work with 8 megapixel camera. 4K, great. How can you record her? Okay, I can record the 8 megapixel at 8 frames per second. That is maximum capacity. And this is for all channels. Okay, not just one, not just channel one, all channels. Or I can work now with a 3K fully, 100% the full resolution, but at 12 frames per second. Or I can go down to 8 megapixel light at 15 frames per second. So I'm getting almost 8 megapixel at twice the frame rate, right? So you need to keep that in mind when you're selecting the recorder. I know this is not this is not explained a lot. It's good for you guys to have this information because it can save you a lot of trouble, right? A lot of headache. So please pay attention to this when you're buying a recorder. I just gave you the best example I could two recorders of the same series, same amount of channels, same amount of hard drives. The only difference is the resolution they can work with, right? So most likely this one will be pricier than this one, even though there are 8 channels. When people buy a recorder, say, oh, give me an 8-channel recorder, right? Give me the cheapest one. But be careful that it cannot handle the resolution of the cameras. And this works for any manufacturer out there, it's not just Hikvision. Now, doing a small parenthesis here, I want you to put you guys onto something. This is our e-learning platform. We have a free online certification platform for Hikvision. I'm sharing you guys the link here in the chat. You can get certified at your own pace for free, anytime you want, whenever you want. We have 2 levels of certification. We have the general security certification. General security certification. I need to articulate my words better. This is for people that are not very savvy on the electronic security world. Let me filter by English because this is for all Americas. You can have the basics for access control, the basics for CCTV, fundamental knowledge. Even if you're already experienced, I suggest you guys go through this because this is really good knowledge to have and be more prepared and more professional into this market that is really competitive. And there's anybody's throwing a cable nowadays. Everybody can be called themselves an installer, but not anybody knows the details of why they're doing what they're doing, right? They're just copying other people, right? So they're not as prepared as you. So I suggest going to this platform, get the basics, and once you do, you go to the next level. You go to the Hikvision security certification, always on self-paced training. And here you will get all our certification trainings for free. You just need to sign up, create an account, and you do self-paced training, and you just go through the compulsory modules on every of these topics. And if you go through these 3 compulsory modules, you can do the exam and get certified on access control. You can get certified on alarm. You can get certified on, not software, SaaS, which means software as a service. This is the certification for Hik Partner Pro and Hik Connect, which I was just mentioning a bit ago. There's even a certification for that, for be more prepared. There's a CCTV certification as well. There's actually one, which is the HCSA, the Hikvision Certified Security Associate, and then HCSP, Hikvision Certified Security Professional, the next level, right? So you can do the CCTV of HCSA, and then you can do the professional and be even more prepared, right? Again, for free at your own pace. There's 2 tries for the exam. If, God forbid, you don't pass the first 2 tries, you can just do it again, right? You can go through the videos again, but you don't need to watch the whole thing. Skip it to the end and then do the exam and you're good, right? So there's no limitation on that. I strongly recommend you, because who doesn't want to get certified for free, right? At your own pace, without nobody yelling at you. And you can review the materials anytime you want. You can even see the materials at the same time as you do the exam. I don't recommend it. I recommend, getting prepared, but we're not punishing anybody for not having photographic memory, right? So it's good for you guys to have this information, because I know it's going to be really useful to you guys. Okay, so this is the e-learning platform. Before moving on, I'm going to do another stop. I'm going to show you this. I would like you guys to scan this QR code, because we have a WhatsApp community. Let me share the code in a second. Again, the link for the e-learning is on the chat, okay? So let me share. Is this session recorded? I believe it's being recorded. You can ask the recording to solution box later. I think it is. So this is the QR code. I would like you guys to scan it. And you can join our WhatsApp community, where we promote the webinars that we're doing bi-weekly, right? Every other week on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Panama time, right? It's going to be 11 a.m. Caribbean time. I think Miami as well. 12 p.m. Suriname and countries in that time zone. We always do it in English, because this is for the Hikvision Caribbean community. And again, 10 a.m. Panama time, Jamaica time as well, 11 a.m. most of the Caribbean countries, and 12 p.m. Suriname, right? So join that group, and we promote webinars every other week, every other Wednesday, 10 a.m., 1 hour long at most. It's not gonna be as long as this training, shorter than this. And we also have giveaways, right? So if you win a prize and you're a Solution Box customer, then we coordinate with Solution Box your prize, okay? So we actually give gifts to people to come to our webinars. So yeah, we give you free stuff. Okay, so scan the QR code. Either way, Daniela has it, and she will share it with you guys later, maybe. But I just strongly recommend you guys to scan it, join the WhatsApp community, and so you can get the promotions. Our next webinar is gonna be 2 weeks from now on October the 8th, if I remember correctly. It's gonna land on a Wednesday. Yes, October the 8th. We haven't still put up the topic, but yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people register right now. Thank you. Okay, perfect. So yeah, this is the WhatsApp community for that. Okay. So let me stop sharing here real quick. So let's move on to the next topic. Okay. So let's talk about the AOV series, right? Before continuing on the naming rule, because I want to cover as much as possible on CCTV as I can. I'm not going to be able to cover everything on access control and alarm because it's going to take more hour sessions. We can do another one later. But I want to cover the always on video solution. Okay, and cable free. So let me share here this real quickly. Window. Okay. Okay, so just checking. You guys can see something that says distribution IP cameras, cable free products promotion. Just checking on the chat. You see a PPT? Perfect. Thank you, Mari. All right. So what is AOV? What is cable free? Simple. This is the wireless cameras product family that we have, right? There's a naming rule for them. I'm not gonna expect anybody to memorize any of this right now, so don't worry. But just so you get acquainted with it. So we have on the cable free series, the first product line is AOV. What is AOV? Always on video, which means that these are solar cameras and wireless cameras that can work. Let me just open this bigger. Hold on. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so these are solar cameras that can work 24/7, but only when they detect motion is it gonna start recording or sending information, right? They are saving power, being a standby mode, only working at 1 frame per second, and whenever motion is detected by people and or vehicles, then starts doing a 15 frames per second recording, communicates via 4G or Wi-Fi, and you can have two-way audio. Now, this is fully IP. This is not analog, right? Because there's no wireless in analog. This is an example of a traditional PIR and radar camera. On the left, I'm going to show the video on the right in a bit. So you see there's a lot of skipping there. But on the right, this is always on video. So yeah. Now, the idea of this is to actually have easier deployment, right? Reduce false alarms as well. To be triggered by people and or vehicles by the motion detection of the analytics done by the camera, and actually consume less power, right? So these are traditional solar cameras, and this is the always on video solar cameras. So they are way more affordable. They have the analytics of smart motion detection for people and vehicles, and they can only be triggered by those elements, right? So if it's inset appliance, lights blinking, rain falling, none of that will trigger the motion detection, right? And you can have 24/7 recording as long as the events happen, right? So they have way less consumption in power. They will come with their own solar panels, right? Those solar panels are not recommended to power anything else but the cameras, right? It's not recommended for anything else. I see a chat. Will you be sending all the presentation? Yes, I will be sending most of the things I just shared. I hope all. I'm just waiting on marketing department to actually approve everything I'm sharing. But anything is not clear, or you guys want another session, we can schedule again. Again, you guys have Daniela's contact. So you guys have a project, we want to discuss it, just reach out to Daniela and we'll have a meeting. Yes, Reynaldo, you want to say something? I think you raised your hand.
Oh, yes, Enrique, I was asking, are AOVs available in Solution Box now?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
They should
No
be.
problem.
Daniela can confirm you that about the stock, but they should be. Okay, so again, these are the models that we recommend for AOV cameras. They can work, they work with solar panels. They come with them, right? This is the product showcase for them. We also have the NVS that can be a recorder that can work with them, a network video server. And then comes the cable-free series, which are Wi-Fi cameras that they at least need power. It's cable-free for communication, but they need power. They don't work with solar, right? And they can work with NVRs or NVSs as well that can centralize the management of these devices. They can also have recording, right? The NVS can have SD cards for the recording. The NVRs have hard drives, right? So this is the product family of what you're seeing. We have 2 and 4 megapixel models. They can come in kits, so it's easier for the purchase and the selling, right? They have the cameras, you have the recorder, the NVS, and they of course can do they can have the two-way talk as well. They have the smart hybrid light. You can also work the on-type privacy mode. For example, I don't want the camera to be turning on the light inside of the store. For example, I also want the camera to for the indoor PT camera. I can cover the lens as well, for example, for privacy. There is the solution. Sorry, the solution that the recorders can work with up to 8 terabytes hard drive. And there is the kit for the Wi-Fi NVR with 4 cameras. It can be with 8 cameras as well between bullets and domes, right? There is 2 megapixel and 4 megapixel kits on the left for bullets, and there's the 4 megapixel H8 and H4 and 8 channel kits. Now, I'm not sure there's a mix between domes and bullets that can be hashed out later with solutions box, but I think there is. And yeah, this is the always on video series. Give me just a second. Okay, just checking here. Let me then go to the go back to the naming rule, and we're almost done with that. Okay, give me just a second. You guys see the PPT? You guys are seeing the PowerPoint, right? Just checking here on the chat. Okay, thank you, Jermaine. What is the average range in feed for the Wi-Fi recorder and wireless cam? Okay, all is gonna depend on your router, because the NVR itself is not giving an access point for the cameras. It connects to the Wi-Fi, and the cameras also connect to the Wi-Fi. So as long as you have range of the Wi-Fi network, you will have range of communication between the cameras and the recorders. Now, mind you, that is the signal is weak, you are transmitting at least 4 megabits per second per camera for the 4 megapixel one, and 2 megabits per second for the 2 megapixel one. So that Wi-Fi range has to be able to cover that bandwidth for that transmission. Yes, as Victor is saying on the chat, as you guys can see, he just giving a quick feedback. We only have prepared small quantity of NOB now in our Panama warehouse, because we have a warehouse in Panama for the region, right? And they are at hand, so whoever wants it, just confirm for solutions box. But if there's actually a higher demand on this, we can prepare a bigger stock for you guys to choose from, okay? So again, this is the naming rule for the eDVRs. So we have recorders that can come with a built-in a hard drive, SSD, right? eSSD, that they can have also up to 2 weeks of recording time. There's also models that can have more than that, and they can support up to 5 megapixel cameras, right? So yeah, we have a solution for that. We built in hard drives. I can give you 2 weeks from 2 to 4 to even 8 weeks of fixed amount of channels, right? Give me a second. Okay. So this is the naming rule for switches. Again, I don't expect anybody to memorize any of this. I know it's a lot of information, right? But just for you guys to get acquainted with this, there's a naming rule for it. I would strongly suggest that you at least know when a switch, how many ports it has, if it's managed or unmanaged. How can I know if a switch is managed? Simple. All of our switches begins by DS3E. If it has a 0, it's unmanaged. If it has a 1, it's managed. That's as simple as it gets, right? Then comes the bandwidth that it supports. I'm not going to expect anybody to memorize this, but the next biggest number you will see is how many ports they have. So you can have 4, 8, 16, 24. Now, I know that some of our switches may say 5. Why does it say 5? Because it's usually 4 ports of communication and 1 of uplink. If it says 10, it's 8 ports, maybe PoE or not, and 2 ports of uplink. If it says 18, it is 16 ports for devices and 2 for uplink. If it says 26, it's 24 ports of devices and 2 for uplink, to actually get the information out of the switch and not reducing the amount of ports available, right? Again, we have different series of switches. We have from the smallest applications just to communicate with your laptop with a printer, or core switches for hundreds of devices, fiber points, mixed between RG45 network points and network ports and fiber ports as well. So we have all of that, right? So yeah, there's naming rules for all this. I will be sharing the naming rules soon, just for you guys to get acquainted with this, so you guys can have it in mind. Again, I don't expect anybody to memorize this, but just get familiar. If you are an installer that is usually installing CCTV, access control, intercom, switches, it would be great to get acquainted a little bit with some of the parts of the rules, so when you are seeing the price list for solution box, you don't get lost, right? Or you can just find the product, just like, you know what, this is not what I'm looking for. This is a completely different category of what I'm looking for. So none of this matters to me, right? So you can actually be more familiar with it. So yeah, this is the naming rule. I will be sharing a bit. Ladies and gents, any questions? Are we good? Okay, guys. So again, thank you all for your time. Thank you for your attention. I hope today was a little bit of a learning experience. I strongly suggest you guys be on the lookout for our next webinars on the WhatsApp community I just shared. Again, before I leave, I want to share here this is adding a background. I want to share here the QR code for the Caribbean WhatsApp community. Also, another thing. For those of you here that are in Trinidad or Jamaica, we have call centers. I don't think you guys can see. Let me see what I'm. Okay, let me share my whole screen. So either way, Solutions Box will be sharing this to you. But this is our call center number for Trinidad, right there on the screen. You guys want to take a screenshot? Right, it's right there. That's the call center for Hikvision technical support on Trinidad. And there's also one for Jamaica. I'm gonna give a couple seconds for the Trini people, my Trini friends here to take a screenshot of it. And then this is the one for Jamaica, right? For use Yaris right there. That is the call center for Jamaica. So any issues, it can help you with general questions, password resets, technical support, product configuration. They can help you. They can guide you through all of that, right? So again, this is the Jamaica number, and this is a Trini number for my Trini friends. And this is the QR code for the Caribbean WhatsApp community where we promote all the webinars. So I hope to see you guys on there. Again, our next webinar is going to be 2 weeks from now on October the 8th, 10 a.m. We'll be updating you soon on the topic. Most likely will be about the HIC Central Access Control solution with time attendance management, but that is just one of the ideas I have for the webinar. I'm hashing that out with our training team. So give you really interesting topics. And again, there will be giveaways on that. Okay. So ladies and gents, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. I will be sharing the presentations with Solutions Box, and they will be reaching out to you to send it to you. Okay. Again, thank you very much. Have a great rest of the week. See you soon on the next session. Thank you, guys. Daniela, thank you very much. I forgot to tell you, thank you very much for your team. And also, yeah, let's talk about the next session later. Awesome audience. Thank you guys again. See you on the next session. Thank you. Thank you.